So, you have accepted someone's offer. Now what? Legally, what happens when two people agree on something? That's where section 2E steps in and defines an agreement, the very DNA of any contract. Hi, I am Prasad. Welcome back to One Section at a Time, your short form podcast series that simplifies Indian law in under 5 minutes. In the last few episodes, we talked about what is a contract, section 2H, what is a proposal, section 2A, what is a promise, section 2B. Today, let's look at the next step in the contract journey. Section 2E, agreement. Section 2E of the Indian Contract Act 1872 defines an agreement as every promise and every set of promises forming the consideration for each other is an agreement. Every promise and every set of promises forming the consideration for each other is an agreement. Now let's break that down to make it simpler. You make a proposal, that is section 2A. The other person accept it, that becomes a promise, section 2B. If both the parties make promises to each other, that forms an agreement. So, agreement is equal to promise plus consideration from both the sides. Let's take an example. A says to B, I will sell you my bike for rupees 10,000. B says, I agree to pay rupees 10,000. A promises to sell, B promises to pay. That's an agreement because there is a mutual exchange of promises. Let's look at one case law which is a very important one and was also a landmark case. This was a case law called as Balfour versus Balfour in UK 1919. So a husband promised his wife monthly maintenance while abroad. The court held that this was a domestic arrangement and not a legal agreement. So, not every promise is legally enforceable, it must meet the legal intention criteria. Why this matters? Section 2E connects the promise to a full fledged agreement. But remember, not all agreements are contract. For an agreement to become a contract, it must be enforceable by law, that is section 2H, and that's what we will discuss in the next episode. So, just a quick recap. Section 2E, agreement, set of promises plus the consideration. Mutual promises form the core of the agreement. This is the bridge between a simple yes and a legally binding contract. Thanks for tuning in to One Section at a Time. Next up, we will explore what makes an agreement a legally enforceable one and how to separate real contracts from casual conversations. So if this episode helped you, share it with your batchmates and don't forget to follow on Spotify or YouTube. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and yes, keep reading those sections diligently. Thank you.